caretaking. Yeah, I must admit I felt you there. I beneath the sullen sky, I cast my doubts aside. I wonder what our life's like on that side. I can't explain what I believe when I look to you. I'll try when you were there. I'll find a place to hide.
Yes, boys. Welcome back to another show. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Smash these likes up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Reduced numbers today. Everyone's ill, yeah? But we should have Steve. Steve's joining in a minute. Yeah, he's loading up the PC soon. But Pulp is ill. Jay's got loads of stuff on. You know what I mean? Bevel's kid's ill. Danny went to the game, so I don't know where Danny's somewhere, just mooching about and that, yeah? And I probably missed someone off and it's proper disrespectful, but you know, it is what it is. The game's the game and my head's fried. So we'll just do reduced numbers with Joe and Tarek. Lads, fucking hell, man. 3-0 win at Sellers Park. Joe, I'll start with you, mate. That's some win, bro. Some fucking win.
Yeah, it's, you can't complain with the 3-0 win at Sellers Park, can you? Because it always feels like... It's weird when it came up, actually, the stat before the game, that Pep's like unbeaten in the last 10 visits to Sellers Park.
I know.
And I was like, is it? Like, it doesn't feel like that, does it? Like, it
actually
feels
pretty
like it's
good record
really...
as well. I think it's like it'll be 8 wins and 3 draws.
Yeah, and it's like, well, then that doesn't feel like it. That doesn't feel like that's historically been the case. Really, it's always felt like it's been a really tough time there. And to be honest, today's game, like, I don't think it was like a particularly vintage City performance by any means. I think we were pretty mediocre at best, I'd say, for large parts of the game. But at the end of the day, if you're putting 3 goals away and you're not conceding, because I think we ultimately still managed to restrict them to pretty, other than them hitting the bar in the first half, which may or may not have gone back to VAR if it had gone in. Like, I think it was pretty. We didn't really get any serious. They didn't get any serious chances out of the game, so I think we kind of defended relatively well across the board. I just think, yeah, it's a big week, isn't it? Like, when you look to this week ahead, like, sort of, you know, Palace away, Sunderland in the form that they're in with Real Madrid sandwiched in the middle. You thought, I mean, you take 7 points from that, wouldn't you? Like, whichever combination of 7 points that is, you'd probably take it. But to get 9 from it over the 2 competitions, really good. So yeah, great. I mean, obviously the fact that we did that based off, I think we're already at a point of the season where it's like Arsenal playing first, or have done these last few weekends. It's always been a case of like, right, we have to respond to what Arsenal are doing, which kind of adds another sort of a mental factor.
It's hanging playing second, isn't it? It's horrible.
Yeah,
man.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens when we eventually play first, and how things change on that front. Because obviously that'll mean is that right? Well, there you go. Then so that makes things a little bit make things a bit more interesting. West Ham.
Yeah, do we play at 3 p.m. and they're at 8? I think
so.
I think we've got a 3 p.m. kickoff next week against West Ham, and they play at 8 o'clock.
We are 3 o'clock, and they're 8 o'clock away to it.
We go to the league next week.
Exactly, that's the thing. If we win that game, we're top of the league all of a sudden. Then Arsenal have got to deal with that mentality side of things, and we all know how Arsenal respond to mental pressure. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, it'd be good. Also, it'd be good to see what we do in that situation, because obviously we've seen how well we've handled over this last couple of weekends, having to get ourselves up for an Arsenal result, whether it was them dropping points last weekend or finding a way to somehow get a win out of that Wolves game yesterday. And we've been able to respond to it. It'll be interesting to see next week what we do when it's us who have to set the tone rather than be the ones who respond to it. But I mean, yeah, it's been a very good week, and it all in all. I mean, I don't think many people would say that the Madrid performance or today's performances were particularly outstanding. But when you're at this point of the season, sometimes you just got to do it that way, haven't you? So can't really complain.
Yeah. Big up Hassan, big up Hugh in the chat as well. Tarek, I mean, George mentioned obviously the fact that we've been winning games recently, and even though we've not been playing amazing. Is that sort of proof, do you think, that we have turned a corner from last season, that like we're not even playing that well, yet we're getting results in tricky places, Bernabeu, Sellers Park? Do you think that sort of proof that we have sort of like, changed from last season, both from a sort of ability-wise, but also sort of like mentality as well?
Yeah, I mean, I would say mentality for sure. Again, to his point, we didn't play great. We didn't play perfect. We had plenty of mistakes. They had plenty of opportunities. But that we held on. We ended up with a clean sheet. I think in previous seasons, we were kind of under pressure in the beginning. There's like a 20-30 minute spell where we were being put under a lot of pressure. And I think last season we would have buckled in that situation. And maybe it is a little bit of bend but don't break. But at the end of the day, we were able to hold on. And so I think for me, I think we should, to a certain extent, we should just kind of let last season be last season and appreciate what we're doing this season. And again, there's going to be ups and downs, and we haven't completely figured it out yet. But we can see the team coming together. We can see Pep starting to figure it out. And again, we're gonna see what we can do when Nico G has to take a rest, because I feel like he's kind of getting to the place where he's going to need some rest. But I think last year was more of the anomaly than the new expectation. And I think a lot of our rivals feel like last season was, oh, this is who we're going to be. And I think that's what is surprising for a lot of them, because we are able to bounce back. We have improved. We are doing better than we did last season. And I think they thought last season was the new standard, and it's not. So, but big up to all the boys on the team, because they had to put in a shift today. It was not easy. They had to put in a shift. Big up, Steve.
Facts, man. Steve Lewis, bro, what's happening, mate?
Yeah, man. Big love, everyone, man. Big up, everyone. Good result again, man. We're taking it along real nice. Big up to the love in the chat there, everyone. It's nice to see. Today's game, I was very nervous about today's game, bro. I just thought it was always going to be a tricky game. It's Crystal Palace away. I say that, but we do actually, ironically enough, have a great record against Crystal Palace and at Crystal Palace away. But this is another season. Crystal Palace are a great side this season. They got a really good manager. They're building something nice, and I was just worried about the game. But another stat as well that I've seen is I think they've only lost 3 games at home at Sellers Park all season. Well, in 2025. So,
I think they've lost one game there this year, bro. United, funny enough.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying, bro. It's a tough side, but bro, we just did what we had to do. We was resilient, really resilient, which is obviously refreshing. I think Nico G again is a lot to do with that. But the back four's just built this beautiful chemistry together now. I think the keeper as well is just obviously installed that next level confidence, and it's just solid all around, man. We got a guy there at right back who, was wrote off, but he's I'm gonna say it, man. He's for me, he's one of the best right backs in this league right now. He can do it all. He's just a great football player. And I think it goes to show when you're a good football player, you can play it in any position as long as you can learn it a little bit, and that's what he's gone and done. You know what I mean? We got O'Reilly at left back. It's just good chemistry in that back four. And Nico G is obviously a great shield. And again, people was quick to judge him, but just a little bit of time, and you can see what he really is. He just does a great job in every way, like bringing the ball out, composure. He's a great shield. That was a physical side today that we were up against. They got some big lads, and he was one of the most physical on the pitch, which is just so good to see, man. So, the boys up front doing their jobs. You know what I mean, bro? Like, we as long as if we can be solid and resilient, I feel like we always got goals in us now. You know what I mean? And we're always creating things as well. And when we do create something, more often than not, we're clinical. So, just really proud of the boys today, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's just a nice result.
I'm glad you spoke about that defense, though, because I think that defense is something that, you know what I mean, is needs to be spoke about a little bit more, man, because I thought today's defensive performance was excellent from the lads. You know what I mean? And when I talk about defensive performance, I'm talking about the defenders. Yeah, obviously, our midfield got cooked a couple times, and whatever. I'm talking about the actual 4 defenders, and Donnarumma included as a goalkeeper as well. The way that these guys are defending, it's like watching complete opposite of last year. Do you know what I mean? Like last year, like I always use the word passive because that's the best word that I could come up with last year when I was watching our defenders. It was very soft. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now I've got fucking Diaz, who's back to his very best, in my opinion, the way he's played. I thought he was excellent today. Gavadio, these guys are just heading everything out. They're blocking everything. Nunes has just sort of evolved his game even more. Because if you remember, actually, last year as a right back, he was good last year as a right back, but obviously it was the mistakes that killed him. Now he's like not even making any mistakes, and we're going to the Bernabeu, and we're like, yeah, we'll play Nunes at right back. He's been fantastic, and his crossing ability is unbelievable. And then you've just got Nico O'Reilly, who we can't glaze enough, just because he just keeps on putting in these insane performances, and all of a sudden you're putting in these really solid defensive displays. And for me, if we can improve our midfield, in terms of like the way we get counter-attacked and transitioned on, I think we're going to be a very, very good defensive team all round as a package, because I still think we're very suspect when we get in transition. You've seen that against Real Madrid plenty of times, and you've seen it again today. We've got away with it 2 times. I just think, for me, we just need to sort out that midfield. And I don't know what the answer is. Is it Rodri coming back in? Is it Bernardo sitting a bit deeper? If you do that, I think teams are going to find it very, very difficult to score against us, lads. And, people keep on talking about our defence being shit. It's not shit no more. It isn't, man.
I think,
you know what I'm saying?
I think you're right in the sense that the transition side of things is where it looks the most... it looks the most suspect there, doesn't it? Because I'm not ready to glaze our defence that much just yet, because I think that we are ultimately... We've got away with it against Madrid in particular, and they still scored. But it could have been a bit worse. Sunderland, Diaz almost gave away a goal before we went up to 2-0 up, didn't it? Like, it was very quickly. No, was that at the beginning of the second half? I can't remember. Where he did the hospital pass that meant that Donnarumma had to come out and
it was second half, I think.
So I mean, and look, those are mistakes that probably loads of players make in a game, and they don't result in a goal, so everyone stops talking about them. But I just think that and ultimately we haven't conceded, so maybe I am being a bit harsh. But for me, it's just a case of I still think we're a way off. We're still quite a way off being the level of defensive unit that makes me go into a game feeling like we're definitely not going to concede a goal, or like it's going to be a great I'm a way off, like the treble. Like obviously, the treble side is like the peak of football. No, it's the peak of City football we've ever seen. So maybe it's unfair to compare everything to that. But we knew that we were solid and we were not going to concede many goals in that side. And I feel like we're just so far away from that. Even now, with things having improved. And it is a transition side of things, unfortunately. And you can maybe say that's more maybe on the midfield than it is necessarily the actual back four itself. But I feel like there were a couple of opportunities today that Palace had where one ball played through a couple of the centre-backs and one of their runners being on the shoulder. Some better finishing, and Palace maybe have a goal or two out of that game. And that's just, again, maybe that's just a skill set that we're not very, very well built up to defend against because of the high line and because of everything. Diaz isn't the quickest player on the planet, even if he is back in better form and stuff like that. Obviously, Gvardiol seems like he's lost a bit of pace since he's got this knee tendonitis that he's been talking about. So, I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, we've had a clean sheet today, and we had one against Sunderland last week as well. So it's maybe complaining about things that haven't really happened yet. But I think when you play against teams like Madrid, you see that actually does result in us conceding goals. And obviously, Madrid are Madrid, but when it comes to the back end of a top level competition like the Champions League, I'm not at the point yet where I look at our defence and think, cool, I'm absolutely fine with this defence going into a knockout game in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals of the Champions League. If it was today's back four with today's team in front of it, I'm still looking at a serious game against a top side in Europe and thinking oh shit, I'm not sure about this personally. And I think the fact that I don't know what it was at the very end of the game, but someone sent me the stats with 20 minutes to go in today's game, and the XG that Palace had managed to put up versus ourselves was like triple or quadruple the XG that we had. Like, so I think we have given up a fair few chances in that game for them to get goals.
Yeah,
and
but it's not. I just
it.
don't think it's coming from the actual defense, me, and that's what I think. I am pretty comfortable with our defense now. I am comfortable with our defense. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you're right. It's not as good as the treble year, right? But that was fucking.
No, of course, yeah.
But I am pretty confident with the defense, and this is what I'm saying. If we can somehow, and I guess this is down to Pep to figure it out, yeah. If Pep can figure out a way just to make that midfield a little bit more solid in transition on the defense, on counter attacks, yeah, I think we are going to be one serious teammate. Because for me, I'm looking at it now thinking that's our only obvious weakness at the moment. Because set pieces defensively, we're very good because we got Gvardiol, Diaz, O'Reilly, Haaland, even Nico G. They're really tall. So for me, our only weaknesses now, that obvious weaknesses, is sometimes when we're playing out from the back from the goalkeeper, like, you know, from a goal kicks, it's sus as fuck, yeah. But the main one for me is transition. If Pep can figure out a way to just tighten it up, because sometimes, I don't know about you yet, sometimes when I'm watching it, I feel like Nico G's almost being hung out to dry me because he's in that midfield. And listen, don't get it twisted, yeah. I think the guy's doing a tremendous job. But I think if he just had one person next to him just to help him out, I think that had solved so many of our problems, and I think we would be just an incredible team all around. I just don't know how do you do that, yeah, without then taking something away from the attack? Because obviously the reason he's on his own is because Bernardo's up the pitch and he's letting Cherki tuck in. So listen, it's obviously I think it's a good conversation because it's basically that icing on the cake we're looking at here, and that's what I see, man. But
I feel like the piece of the jigsaw that you're talking about, mate, is a guy that is probably going to come in the future. You know, if Rodri's keeps having troubles with fitness, I think that's probably a guy that's going to come in like Anderson, a guy that can do it kind of all, because that way you're not taking anything away from the attack. So if you've got a guy like Anderson who can kind of like do both, you've got Nico G getting help, and then you're not taking anything away from the attack as well. I think it's probably a guy that's going to come in. I don't think in January, but probably next summer. But I am a believer that Rodri is around the corner, and I believe he's working hard to come back fit. So I think that issue might also be resolved quicker than you might think as well. He'll probably come back in the new year, I reckon, come back fit as well, Rodri, and you might see them play together then. But I see what you're saying, but ultimately I won't be too harsh as well, man, because we did keep that clean sheet. And a point that is worth making is I think that XG, one of them was a goal, well, that chance where he hit the crossbar, where he was actually offside, but he still counted towards the XG.
Yeah,
still on the
stupid, isn't it?
Still on the XG counter. But that was a good line.
Stats say they only had one big chance. We had two.
I thought, you know what, man, it's funny you mentioned that, Steve. I actually thought our defensive line today was excellent, mate. Yeah, like the amount of times we caught them offside and stuff. But again, it goes back to that defense. That defense for me is really starting to click now. Yeah, you're seeing it. I think the Diaz Gvardiol, and this is funny, because at the start of the season, yeah, I remember saying, I want a stable back two. Now, this wasn't the back two that I actually wanted, yeah. It was Gvardiol. It was Gvardiol and Huzanov, yeah. So I ain't going to glaze the whole thing. But the main thing that I wanted to see this year was I need a stable back two, and I think this is paying dividends, man. You know what I mean? I think this Diaz-Gvardiol relationship that's on the pitch right now is just getting better week in, week out. And this Diaz performances, bro. Like, I can't lie, yeah. When he got that contract earlier in the season, I was like, bro, what we give him a contract for now? Like, he's not even been playing well for like a year. Like, at least wait until he gets better and that. I'm not willing to sell the guy. I wasn't selling him, yeah, but I was like, yo, what are we doing? I thought it was a very strange decision. But I'll tell you what, I don't know what happened there, but he's proper kicked on since he's got that contract. He's been mega. Gvardiol, 2 weeks ago, I was like, get this guy out of the team. He needs a rest. He's knackered. He's cooked. He's making mistakes left, right, and centre. And he's just come back out of nowhere, just revived like that. So this centre-back partnership's mega. And then, to be honest, Nico O'Reilly, just does his thing every game. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It makes it look so easy.
I think with Diaz, it's probably more the fact that he's got a solid, an actual
partner.
It's partly the partnership thing, but also the fact that last season in particular, I think he probably suffered, as the entire defence did, from Rodri not being there and having no one who could really do that job in front of the back four for basically the whole season. Whereas now we have Nico G there who can do, obviously not to the level that Rodri can, and it's still a very good, imitation of what Rodri can do. Even if he is on his own, and even if he obviously does look incredibly fucking knackered at the moment, like I'm fearing for this guy. Like he needs a rest at some point, and I'm hoping he gets one in the midweek in the Carabao.
Brentford.
Even if it means that we go out of the competition, like I'd love to win it, but I'd rather Nico G got a week off personally. But I think having that guy in front of him has helped like Diaz like raise his level a bit and have like a bit of, because he's got someone in front of him who can actually do the job that somebody in that midfield is supposed to do in terms of like covering the defense a little bit. Because I mean, if you think about last season, like how much of it was just one pass and you were through one-on-one with the defender. And we all know Diaz isn't the quickest man on the planet as it is anyway. So in that situation, we were obviously done for a lot, and then it left every single person in that back four to do such a silly amount of like 1v1 defending that not many defenders on the planet can look good if they're just being asked to 1v1 defend week in, week out all the time. Like you need to have at least some weeks where you aren't doing that. And I think Diaz probably suffered from that as much as anybody else did. So I think, the fact that we now are in a position where that's not the case anymore for our back four. Like they aren't just being asked to, stand up attackers every single week. It's a bit more of like them doing the job of an actual normal back four that's got some actual cover in front of it from the midfield. Even if it's still not perfect yet in front of them in that sense, but it's a shitload better than it was last season, and you can probably see that in the whole of the defense behind them. That they all, even though I'm not personally convinced that it looks great, like put them in a Champions League semi-final level good, it's still a shitload better than it was last year, and that's got to be, that's a big plus for Nico G more than anything else.
I hear it. This is an interesting comment. Big up Hussein, bro. Says we call for staying with the same starting 11, and now most of them are tired. This for me is a great point, right? Because like this is true, yeah. This is true. Like we all wanted like similar 11s, but this is sort of like the problem you've got, yeah. Because I think City this season, and I think Pep's done the right thing, needed to play a consistent 11, as much as possible, right? Because I think we needed to get going. I think we needed to get these players kicking into gear, and to do that, you need to play them week in, week out, game. And I think it's worked. If you look at the situation, we're obviously looking good in the Champions League. We're second in the Premier League. However, the downside of that is, and Hussein's right, is that it does knacker the players. And I don't know about you, and obviously we've just had a big week, right? But I thought the players looked knackered, man, in sort of like 60, 70 minutes. And like, this is the thing, because you got Brentford coming up on Wednesday. Like, again, how do you approach that? Do you
full Leverkusen?
I don't see. My issue is, I think we need to try to win this trophy, because I think winning that trophy at the beginning of the season sets the tone for the rest of the season. So I would like to win it, but at the same hand, I understand we do absolutely need to rotate at least some key players. We don't need to see Gavardiol, who's got tendonitis in his leg, right? Take him out. We don't need to see Nico G. He's been playing every minute of every match. We need to give him a rest. There are certain people that need a rest, but I wouldn't personally do the full 10, because we just look so haphazard and disjointed. I feel like we would be throwing away an opportunity. I'm
not actually sure we can we? Because Marmoush and Aït-Nouri are off.
No.
Now we can't actually do it anyway, can we?
Me and Sai did it before. You literally can't do it unless you bring in academy players.
Because you're going to bring in Mikasa, right? You're going to bring him in for sure.
He was already in the 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the thing is, because John Stones has got injured now, you're going to have to play two.
And Doku.
And Doku's injured as well, and I still don't know what's going on there, in terms of his injury and that, because they just said it's a leg injury. But
I'm blaming the dudes from Real Madrid on that.
From Real Madrid,
because that was a nasty tackle that he got. He just kept playing through, but it felt like it could have been.
It probably
pretty
is just an impact injury from that game. I would not be surprised at all. They were trying to batter him, but I've actually got a little bit of a different take on the overall fitness of the squad. I was always big on this as well, lads. Like, rotation. I need rotation. I need to keep players fresh. But at the same time, like during a game, I mean, like towards the second half of the game, I think you're naturally going to be tired from the game of football. But you guys know yourselves as well. Like you see it on Erling Haaland's videos and stuff like that. Like recovery is key as well. And I do think you can recover pretty quickly, especially as a man in your 20s. You got testosterone. You know what I mean? You're designed to graft. Do you know what I mean? So I also just think as well, like, you know, let the players work hard, let them look tired. You're going to look tired. Make some subs if need be. Use the bench, but then also as well, I trust them to recover by the next game. The only thing you have to avoid is injuries, obviously, but I do think injuries can just happen given what they do as a job. But like, I do think as well, you know, you do just look tired. We was at the Bernabeu, people were saying, "Oh, this guy looks tired. This guy looks tired." What do you want him to do? Look fresh after an hour? It's not going to happen, is it? You know what I mean? You're not going to look like how you did in minute one as you do in the 60th. So I do think that's a point as well.
I do get it, but there's like there are levels of like looking like you just played 80 minutes of football and looking like you've played 2 months of back to back games on and on. And I think that's the level that players like Nico G and Gvardiol in particular are definitely at. Like they look like players who are desperate to just have a game or two where they aren't playing. I think this is in the past we've been able to sort of in past seasons we've been able to sort of avoid this happening en masse in the squad.
We've had a bigger squad, haven't we, in the past? So.
Because Pep has been more willing to trust the backup players, whereas now we're in such a position where Pep is only really trusting like 10 or 11 or 12 players. There's no longer like, do you know what we said? Like really, like the seasons like the treble season or like 18-19 or 17-18, like they were built on Pep having a core of like 14, maybe 15 players that he would rotate in and out, and those 14, 15 would keep each other fresh like every week or two. One or two would dip in, and so no one would play every single game. They'd all play like every 2 out of every 3 games or whatever to sort of keep it a bit fresh. But because we're at a position where Pep seemingly doesn't trust like 80 to 90% of the backup players that are in each position, he is playing the same 11. Like I thought after that Madrid game on Wednesday, where everyone did look like they gave it absolutely everything that they had, I expected to see some rotation today. But obviously the only person who actually missed out was Doku, who couldn't play because he's injured. And I think that is, whilst totally understandable because of obviously the form that the squad is in and because of the form that 11 is in, it is a real concern for considering we are in the period of the season where rotation is more key than ever because we're playing midweek. It's weekend, midweek, weekend, midweek, weekend, midweek, basically the whole way through to like the end of January almost. We need to be in a position where we can rotate a little bit. And obviously now an injury to Doku has probably forced a little bit of rotation. Like we are going to have to see Savio start some games, maybe Bob start some games, I don't know. But and again, I totally understand the point that Pep's got of that's not that he's said this, but the idea that Pep seems to just not rate anybody enough to throw them in without an injury. Because let's be honest, once Doku's out of the team, whoever comes in at this current moment in time is objectively a downgrade to that, like pretty significantly based on the form that Doku's in. And I think that, the fact that, and again, it's the same with Nico G. Like if you take him out of the team, whoever comes in to replace him is such a downgrade that it's like you don't want to risk it. But if you keep playing them over and over again, exactly. But if you keep playing them over and over again, I mean, we think it might be an impact injury from Doku, but what if it's not? What if it's just his calf's gone or like his hamstrings gone, like it has done in the past?
Well, I would say he's had those issues in the past, so that's a concern.
Exactly,
for him.
and it could just be that he has been overplayed into an injury, and it really scares me that we might be looking at a similar situation with Nico G in a couple of weeks if this lack of rotation keeps persisting, because we need to, Pep needs to find at least a couple of extra players that he can trust to sort of throw into this rotation option like we've had in the past, because playing the same 11 week in, week out is not going to work at this stage of the season. He needs to sort of find a way to change things up.
And you are right, but this is why, obviously I think they've got 3 more games this in 2025 in the Premier League. This is why, for me, I think we need to hit the market, man. I think we need to hit the market again. Check this out as well. Hamza spoke to Hugo Viana at the stadium before,
Did he give him the list?
Look at this. This was before. This was after the game.
Please get us good transfers. Please, I'm begging you.
He said, "Get us some good transfers, please. I'm begging you." And Viana said, "We will."
Sure, he will one day.
Bro. Absolutely gold.
I do think we need to hit the market, though, me boys. Yeah, I do think we need to hit the market because I think we could do. I don't think we need like 4 or 5 players like last January. I remember sitting here this time last year saying we need five players. Yeah, I don't think we need that, though, Steve. Yeah, I think we need just a couple of good quality players that can come into the side. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think way, bro. He obviously played today. I rated me. I think he's a baller.
I thought he did really well. And again,
what do I think of who?
Gahey.
Gay.
Oh, Gay. Wow. I mean,
Yeah, he was really good.
He's an amazing player. He's one of the only players I've seen match Haaland at one stage physically. I mean, I've seen him in a sprint as well. Like, the guy's fast, he's strong. He can play on the ball well. I think we're destined to see him in a blue shirt in the future. But you know, you have to be careful as well, because you don't really want to disrupt that partnership as well, innit? It's almost like a striker situation. You've got the best striker in the world. You know, how good can your number 2 striker really be? You know, if you've got 2 good centre halves, how good can your 3rd and 4th centre halves really be before they just don't want to be there because they want to be in number 1 options, innit?
That's
So,
Yeah,
you know,
I think he
you need
did
to find
really
that
well.
balance.
I just don't know if we get him, because I think Liverpool probably going to go all out to bring him in.
I
So
think so.
I just don't know that he pops up. I would love it. I just don't think it's actually going to happen.
Also, not in January, probably. I think he'll wait to the end of the season where he can get a nice fat sign-on bonus for free for himself. Unless Palace have the hand forced and just go, look, we'd rather have 40 mil than lose you on a free at the end of the season. Maybe that's the way it goes, but I don't know. Gay looks
probably
good,
closer to 25, 30 at this point. I mean, he's only got like 6.5 months left. I wouldn't give him 40. I mean, maybe you would if you're desperate to make sure you get him to secure him, but
if you're looking at Liverpool's squad right now, you are demanding 40. Like it's But
what do you think the priority is, Joe? What transfer wise in January?
Semenyo. It's got to be a forward. Like, we can't. I don't think we can. Obviously, like, Foden's coming in with the goals now. I mean, he's joint 3rd top goal scorer in the Premier League. I mean, the guy's fucking. I don't know how he's managed that out of nowhere, but I think that Semenyo, like, obviously with the links we've got to him, I think based. I mean, look, we'll see it in the next few weeks now that Doku's injured. Like, I think we're going to really lose something with no Doku if this is more than just like a he's out today kind of injury, and he's out for like even just to the end of 2025. I think we'll see how big the drop off is, unless Savio steps up, which I really hope he does. But I think realistically we're going to see how big of a downgrade that's going to be for the options we've currently got. I think midfield as well, you could say, is also a priority, but I mean, you're not getting Elliot Anderson in January, I don't think, personally. So I mean, it's a pointless conversation. Whereas Semenyo is a simple. It's a release clause. It's an easy January job. Like, Semenyo's agent, I think, or the Ghana coach has come out and said that like he's ready for a big move or something like that. So I think all signs point to Semenyo going somewhere in January, especially with that kind of release clause in this kind of market. But I would love to see us do it personally, because I just think it's an immediate upgrade on what we have, and I think anything that takes Foden, like I say, Foden steps up in this last couple of weeks to help take the load off Haaland. But the more players that we can bring in to do that, the better for me. So if I was looking in terms of January signings, I would say that is the priority for me personally. I don't think signing like a Gay or Anderson. I mean, Anderson's not realistic, and I just don't think Gay is like a centre back is not a priority this January for me.
See, I feel like we need a midfielder. And again, I get you that maybe Elliot Anderson or Wharton or whoever may not be attainable in January, but I just think we can't go all season without a backup or cover for Nico G. And I hear you, Steve, saying that we think Rodri's going to be back soon. I get it. I hope that's the case. I believe it's the case. But if I'm the club and I don't have some kind of an assurance that he's going to be back, I've got to go get cover, because otherwise we're going to be in the same situation we were in last season with Rodri, where we had no cover. We had to wait all the way till January to bring in Nico G, and he helped stabilize us along with all the other moves we made. If we don't get it right in January, we've got to go to the end of the season and we potentially have no cover. That's a bad position, because we are in a position where we could win the league. Mm-hmm. You would hate to lose that because we just didn't do what we needed to do in January, and I think we have to make sure we have cover. Again, maybe Kovacic comes back, but again, we think he's probably going to be gone. So again, you got to have something. You got to do something.
I'm totally with you though, Terry, bro, on getting this covering, because regardless of Rodri coming back or not, Rodri's not a guy that we can rely on anymore. We just can't, innit? Like, we can't hold our hat on Rodri, as good as he is and as good as he might be.
You got to speak to the doctors, Steve. You got to speak to the doctors, bro, and be like, right, give me the facts. Is this guy coming back and on now?
The club know the facts, innit? You know, I believe I do believe what I'm saying is the truth, bro. You know, he's working hard to not just come back, but come back fit and firing. I believe that's what's going on, innit? Like, of course, they're in communication with the doctors, innit? You have to be. So,
the thing is, I'm just not sure. You find yourself in a position where you end up signing like a Calvin Phillips or something because we have no like.
We already have a Calvin Phillips. Can we get him? Can we get him good enough to just play moments?
No.
I mean, again, we need because I'm with you. I don't want to go spend money that is going to be thrown away, but we have to do something.
I just don't think we can. I just think we're honestly. If, let's say that Rodri is definitely never ever playing football for Manchester City again.
Well, that's a different conversation. Yeah.
No, but okay. But if that's the case, then yeah, you can go and sign a backup. But if there's a chance that Rodri rocks up fit in February and is fit for the rest of the season, then we've just signed a third choice defensive midfielder effectively. So you can't do that. And who's going to be literally Calvin Phillips? Because that is just not what. So
I don't want us to spend another 40-50 million on some mid-level midfield.
But if we don't, then we end up in a situation where we're putting Stones in the midfield and telling him, "Oh, go do the job." And that we saw that didn't work either. So,
I'd take the risk personally. I would because I think the club see that Elliot Anderson is the guy who could be the guy alongside Nico G, or he can play in a double pivot with someone else if it's not Nico G who comes in. And why sign another guy in January just to sign the guy 6 months later? Like it doesn't.
Both arguments are right. Yeah, Tarek. The only way I change.
Yeah, I do agree with the ultimate point. Yeah, that Tarek's making.
Tarek's point is right. Yeah, and the only way I actually agree with what you're suggesting is if the doctors are in my ear saying he's cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're saying that to me, right, I'll be like, right, I'm going to do it then. But if providing that they're saying, no, like we believe that we can get him like fit and he's almost there, like, you know what I mean, and now he's not finished, then I would risk it, not sign anyone, and then go big for Anderson because I'm telling you now, we'll end up with some scrub mate who's shit, and I can't be arsed with another crap midfielder, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's on the Rodri thing. I kind of think that, and this is just like pure speculation. There's absolutely no fucking like. There's no sort of like intuition. Wait, what's the word here? Insinuation from anywhere that this is actually the case. I'm just sort of speculating. But if you think when he went down with that injury, we were already putting him on the pitch again before the end of the season. Like I felt that was a bit too soon. They were playing him in the Club World Cup, which again I thought was a bit too soon. You didn't have to. And then we brought him back in right at the start of the season, and then we saw again he had a little bit of a sort of hangover injury from the Club World Cup and having played there. Then we brought him back in when he was fit again, and I just think this time the club are genuinely, and Pep is like, that's why they're being very non-committal about a return date for him. I'm kind of choosing to be a little bit optimistic about it and just saying it's because they don't really want to set a date for him to be like, right, you're going to be back in like 3 weeks. I think they're just ready to sort of go, right, you can come back when you're ready, because I think they've tried to bring him back at like certain dates before this. They tried to play him as soon as he's fit and available. And look, it's obviously having, as anybody recovering from an ACL injury does, it has that impact on you where you just get another injury like not long afterwards. And like obviously we saw Rodri do his hamstring like not long afterwards, which is again, even if it's not the same leg as the one that you've done your ACL in, it's a very common thing because your body just naturally overcompensates for certain movements and things like that. So I just think at the moment, I'm not overly concerned about the Rodri thing yet. I mean, I think we've all, as a fan base, accepted we aren't getting the Ballon d'Or Rodri back ever again. Like it's just a fact that given the injury that he's had at the age that he's had. But I'm not ready to sort of write off, let's go sign a backup defensive mid because Rodri's probably cooked kind of thing. I just think we can just be I think we as a club and as a fan base can still be like, right, well, we can maybe bank on Rodri coming back in February or March and sort of helping us get over the line for the last couple of months of the season. And then if we go into the summer and Rodri's not signing a new deal or the club just aren't happy with Rodri being at like the level that he's at anymore, and then we move him on if we have to, or just let him see out his contract. But either way, we bring in Elliot Anderson, and that is the succession plan for Rodri kind of in motion at that point.
If Kolo Touré's word is anything to go by, lads, as well, the man himself said, he's getting sharper. If you listen to Kolo Touré's press conference just before this game. So, I want to trust what he tells me there. And, like Joe as well, I think maybe we're just taking our time, not giving him a date. But when you're feeling like you're 100%, then let us know.
The thing is as well, yeah, I definitely think City have held him back here. Because
Yeah, man.
when he got this injury, this last injury, the hamstring, they said it was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They said, oh, no,
Next
it's not.
That was 2 months ago, wasn't it?
They said, didn't they say he'll be back after the international break?
Feels like it.
Yeah.
Bro, it's been like fucking 4 weeks since the last international break or something, man. It's been time. So I think City have learned a lesson here and gone, we're going to hold him back. We're going to make sure he gets fully fit and we're not going to spam him out. Yeah, because that's what they did. They were fucking stupid. We spammed him out 3 games in a week, got him injured.
The Villarreal, was it Villarreal that he started after
Napoli.
Another game? Napoli, that's the one he started.
He started United.
Arsenal.
United, and Arsenal. Yeah.
The frustrating thing as well is that Nico Gonzalez was always there, the whole time. Even like, last season when we didn't use him, maybe, I don't know what he was doing, settling on or whatever he was doing. But, Nico Gonzalez has always been there, man. He's going to show us how capable he is.
Yeah, no.
I think if anything, this spell of him having to step in for Rodri has been good, because now I think Pep is at a level where he can go, you know what, if I want to rest Rodri, I've got a guy there who I know I can bring in. Like, if Rodri comes back and he's sick, but we have a game that comes up against, like, I don't know, like some home Premier League game against a team that are in shit form. Like, say we have Wolves at home. Like, if Pep cannot rest Rodri and bring in Nico G for that kind of game, then what are we doing? Like, we're back to.
Do you think we can play them both, bro?
Yeah,
I think we can.
Therefore.
I just don't see why you would, because I think you would. I mean, obviously you can in like a big game. I'd like to see it against like a team like in a big Champions League game. So I'm almost fine with taking a little bit out the attack to sort of solid up the midfield a little bit in a Champions League semi-final or something like that. I think I'm okay with it, especially since both Rodri and Nico can move up and down the pitch. But for me, I'd like to see them used to sort of cover each other and give each other a bit of rest and sort of like help to, because otherwise you are, as you were saying before, like you're just spamming one of them every game till the end of the season because you've not got anyone else to sort of come in. And I'm really reluctant to see us do that again with Rodri, given how that ended. After 2 or 3 years of him saying I'm playing too much football, it finally fucking came to be that his ACL went, and Nico G already looks like he's playing too much football at too high an intensity. Like before this, he was playing in the Portuguese league with Porto. Like, I'm not being funny, but how taxing is that on your body, really, as a Porto player? Like, whereas now he's playing in the Premier League every single week, like one of the most intense leagues in the world, where he's playing in a Manchester City side that is by no means back to its full best yet, with a midfield in front of him that isn't doing a lot of defensive work to help him out. Like, his body's probably under the most stress it's ever been in under his entire career, and I think that now he's starting to look like a player who is playing too much. So yeah, for me, when Rodri comes back, I'd like to see the two of them rotate rather than play alongside one another personally, because I just think that they need to give each other rest where they can.
Yeah, I was actually going to suggest a temporary fix as well, what Predator 40 mentioned in the chat earlier on. Nico O'Reilly's there. You could push him into more of his actual natural position in midfield if you wanted to do that for a game.
Nah,
it would have been nice to play.
He's too good as a left back, though, isn't he?
I was going to say, we're taking away one of our strengths right now.
That's true as well. Yeah.
And also, people don't like to hear this, but when he has played in midfield, he's not actually been that great, in my personal opinion. Yeah, when he's it's only been a few games, right? But what I don't like doing, this is very much a suggestion, Steve, that people was like, oh, maybe we should put Doku now on the right, so we can try and get
you were saying that, bro.
No. Recently, when people was talking about, oh, maybe we need to get Savio in the team on the left because Cherki's playing on the right, or we need to get Bob on the left-hand side. Let's move Doku. And I've been saying, I've not waited 2 years for Jeremy Doku to become an important part of the team and a really real asset of the side to go, oh, we're going to move it now to help some other guy. Nah, bro, like I'm not doing that. And I don't want to move players who are playing well, to compensate for some other guy. Like, nah, man. So I don't want to move Nico. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. I also thought as well, it'd be nice to see Eight Nori get in the team, but obviously he's not there now as well. But I do think there's a player in Eight Nori as well. That's why I'd like to see him try and get some more time. But I understand completely. Nico O'Reilly is the main number 3.
You reckon Eight Nori could play next to Gonzalez?
I think he could play more advanced, to be honest with you. Well, you might have a point as well, bro.
He's a defender by
Yeah,
name, at least position wise. So
He's got tech in it, so he can play anywhere, man.
experimentation. That's what you're asking for mid-season, yeah.
Or,
I'd rather-
could you play him as a right winger?
I think you could probably play that kid anywhere, man.
Little Mahrez region.
I'd like to see him be played at left back in like a similar style to what Guardiola was doing when he was there, where he was basically just like camping on the edge of the opposition box whenever we had the ball.
Basically,
like
a left winger, wasn't he? Like when he was
yeah.
So.
I'd rather see him do that than like move into midfield or anything else, because I just don't. I've never seen him move into midfield, so I'm not going to assume he can do it.
Yeah,
and
I just think he's a guy that's capable of a lot. You know, guys, ignore him, man. I really do. I think he could be a bit like Cancelo-esque if he was to really get a run of games. But at the moment, it is impossible to do that for him. I get that, you know what I mean? But I do think he can offer a lot, man.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I hope he goes to AFCON and cook. Yeah, I hope he goes and cooks, because then that will tell Pep, hey, I just need a little bit of a run. Give me a little bit of a run in the squad. Give me a game or two. Just give Nico O'Reilly a rest so that you can just see that, okay, like you said earlier, I have a player that I can depend on when I need it. I don't know that right now he feels comfortable that he can go anywhere other than Nico O'Reilly, and that's kind of unfair.
Yeah.
I mean, Nico O'Reilly's earned it on the pitch, so you know. It is,
100%, man. But
it's going to be nice to see Mamouche get a run of games in the AFCON as well. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on that tournament, man. It's always been a fun watch as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch them as well, man. It's going to be good.
2-2 watch-alongs on it.
2-2 watch-alongs, man. Yeah, funny enough, actually, I was checking the other day. I can't even do the first two because I'm not here, because it's on Christmas time, innit? So yeah, most people will be probably busy. Let me do these super chats. I've got some topics I want to cover. Foden. Yeah, because he's fucking getting all these goals, as Joe was saying before. Cherki, and I want to touch on Erling Haaland as well. Shout out to Adam, who says, bro, I feel like Lewis should play alongside Nico G because he's better than Silva and would help Nico G more. I'm down for that, man. I like Rico Lewis. I like him. I would be open to doing that for sure, mate, for sure. Big NBA says, Tijani is too slow for the Premier League. Appears to be lethargic, but that's his pace. Arguably, Grealish in the same role would be more effective.
You know,
I don't think he's slow at all.
A guy called Doku that was written off, and I stood by him and I seen what he's capable of. I'm going to do the same with Tijani Reinders, man. I'm going to stand by him. I see what he's capable of, bro, and I think he's going to be a player.
He keeps popping up in really good positions. He hasn't converted a lot of the chances yet, but I think that's going to come with time. I said that about Savio too. I think it's going to come with time. I don't think we should go. I don't think we should go away from him completely. And I don't think he's really slow. I've seen him on the ball, and he was moving pretty quick on the ball. Again, sometimes I don't like his decision making or whatever, but again, those things come.
I thought he was bad
with Reinders, my thing is just if he isn't scoring goals, I'm not really sure what he does. Like I quite comfortably go like 40, 50 minutes of football and just don't even realize that he's on the pitch. Like I just think he's not someone who affects games at this stage. Like I'm not saying that he can't do it at some point, and there have been games this season where I felt like he's had a really good, he's had decent performances and played well, but I think generally, like today, for example, I didn't look at his performance and go, wow, this is great. In fact, if anything, I didn't realize he was on the pitch for large parts of it until he had chances to score and then didn't score them. I think he should have done a lot better with that chance he had in the second half, where he sort of managed to run clear. And did he hit it across the face of goal? I think he should have either been passing that inside to Haaland.
It was kind of covered. The pass was kind of covered, but again, when it's Haaland, you just expect. You got the world's best goal scorer in the box. You want to almost 99% of the time, you're better off giving the ball to him. But again, we used to say the same thing about Phil Foden, and again, I think it would have got cut out if he would have tried that pass.
I think I watched the replay before, and he had to shoot. He couldn't have passed it. No way.
Oh, in that case, he had to score. Yeah, he should have scored.
But that's the point. Yeah, if he scores that, no one cares. But
yeah, the only thing he's a decent keeper as well.
Yeah, he is a good goalkeeper. Yeah, I don't know, man. I still think he's going to come good. Like, I'm with Steve, man. I think he will come good. He's a good player and that. But at the moment, I kind of like with Joe, man. Like, he's just not really giving me anything. What I see from him, because I actually really rate the guy. Yeah, I was buzzing. I was doing the scout alongs at the end of last season. I was like, we're signing a baller. I think he's a player that needs to start grabbing the game by the scruff of its neck. Say, give me the fucking ball. Because he's got ability on the ball. So he needs to get the ball. He needs to demand the ball. Give me the ball. Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne, give me the ball. Yeah, and I feel like sometimes he just like lets the game drift by him and he sort of like passes responsibility onto other players. And I think
he was given an awkward job as well today, LB. Like, he was basically being played like a striker, for a lot of the game. He was basically told to stand close to Haaland, but when you do that, you don't get much space, do you? So I think it's a difficult task.
And the worst case scenario, is we've got a great squad rotation player.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expect him to become ultimately. I think if we expect him to be like our fourth choice midfielder, then that's fine. That's what I expect him to be, because I think ultimately our midfield three is probably going to be one of Nico, Gio, Rodri, Anderson, and Foden or Cherki, or some combination of those guys will be like our first choice midfielder. I don't expect Reinders to really ever be our first choice midfielder, personally.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I didn't think Nico Gonzalez was ever going to be much more than a squad rotation player after seeing him last season. Now he's fucking balling out.
Exactly, bro. You have to remember that. You have to remember about these squad rotational players as well. Like, the important people like Savio, that should, at the minimum as well, that's a good job for Savio. You need good squad rotational players. And I think as far as that goes, you could do that at a decent level. A guy like Savio, he come on. And he come on at the Bernabeu, he did a couple of nice things. He might have did one stupid thing, but he did a couple of nice things. Today, he come on and did a fantastic run and got the penalty, He was never going to score it, though, was he?
Being a squad rotation.
Did we believe he was going to get it?
Nah, no chance.
No City fan thought he was going to score when he went through on goal.
I know. I was actually smiling
when he got fouled, I was like, yes.
I was afraid his touch was going to go too far. I was like, no.
Being a squad rotation player isn't a bad thing, by the way. Like, no, it's not bad to be a squad, especially in this City side. Like a fourth or fifth choice midfielder for us is not a bad thing. It's just that I'm personally not putting the expectation on him after having seen what I've seen this first 4 or 5 months. That he is going to be the guy going forward. I just don't see that personally. But that's fine. Yeah. That doesn't mean he's not good enough. It just means he's not the best.
All right, well, let me move it on. So I've got a couple of other players that I want to speak about before we end the stream, boys. Foden, another goal. Yeah, this guy is really starting to hit his stride now on the goal scoring front. I mean, all the stats are just incredible when you compare them to last year. He's now got 7 Premier League goals. He's got 10 goals in all competitions. He's already matched his total Premier League goals from last season. He got 7 in the entire year, and now he's already got 7, and we're not even into the second half of the season. And he got 13 goals in the whole of last year, and he's on 10 already. So he needs 3 to match his goal output from last year. He's got 4 assists as well this season. Tarek, bro, Foden, bit of a different role for him this season. He's playing a little bit deeper at times. He's doing a lot of unnoticed, maybe underappreciated defensive work, but he's also giving us goals now as well with 10 goals for the season. 7 in the Premier League. That's
a key. He's also getting the goals. He's doing all of the above. And I remember I was on with Hussam, or maybe it was Mo, I forget which one, but they're like, oh, Phil, again, rival fans in general.
Haters, bro.
Well, they had so much to say about Foden. Oh, he's not, he's not this, he was never this, yada, yada. And it's just like, are you concerned about him not scoring and not? No, I'm not concerned, because I know that he has it in him, and I see him getting back. And now we've seen just the benefit of just being patient, letting him play his way back into form, giving him that run of games, not pulling him in and out, letting him play. And now he's clicking on all cylinders. And he got, what do you say? He's on 6 goals now? Is that just a 10 all? 10, 7
in the Prem.
Yeah, that's
in the Premier League.
And it's all happened probably in the last 5-6 games mostly. So again, he's on a really good run of form. I hope that continues. Is not just like a little purple patch, but it really is, a ongoing. He's just back to that form that we saw when he won PFA Player of the Year. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see him back at his best. I love the kid. Not being from Manchester, but still having an affinity for the kids that have come up through the academy and wanting to see them do well. I'm really happy for him. and to see him back to his best, and more importantly, just shutting up all the haters. That I love that for him.
Yeah. Stu, what do you make of this new role, bro? This bit deeper role than that, lad. Like, they're doing a lot more
to me,
defensive work.
I've always thought, bro, that he's got physical aspects to his game that people overlook. Like the guy doesn't get pushed off the ball easily, so I think he's capable of putting his foot in it. You know what I mean? But more importantly, bro, he's still getting his shots off a goal, which is where he's still, obviously effective. His last 3 games, he scored more goals than Saka in 2025. You know what I mean? But this isn't no surprise to us. We know how good the kid is. Even today, he was a little quiet, but he still fights the back of the net. He's got more goals outside the box than anyone in the league in the last couple of years. No surprise again. The guy's a sniper, bro.
Cash money,
and
he's
back, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? And I always knew he was going to come back, bro, because Classy's permanent, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? He was obviously like, even last year, bro, I think he was very, very overhyped how bad he was. I just think that's just because of how good his standard is. You know what I mean? But, he's just showing us again, man. He's reminding everyone what time it is, bro.
Yeah, no. And when he gets that ball on the edge of the box, like, it's just funny, Tarek was saying then, like, with Savio, did anyone think Savio was going to score when he went for own goal?
Exactly.
When Foden gets the ball on the edge of the box on that left foot, I'm thinking, this is going in.
You're ready, bro.
But that's the other reason why the whole XG conversation doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because for most people, that's probably, low on the XG because it's outside the box, whatever. But for Phil, we've seen him convert from that spot so many times that's a high XG shot for him. But XG, exactly, the conversation, the algorithm for XG doesn't take that into consideration. It just considers, we shot from outside the box. It's probably a low XG shot. Not for Phil, it's not.
Very good point. He's just got this composure when he shoots, like where he directs the ball well. Like people just shoot in it at goal, like they just try and hit the target. Foden picks a spot in the goal, and it's a level of composure that like you're not really seeing. It's like the likes of Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, that kind of level, bro. And again, bro, most goals outside the box out of any player in the league in the last recent years. It's no surprise.
I know. And we'll see how he gets on for the rest of the season, man. But hopefully he carries it on. And like even today, I don't even think he had the best game today, if I'm being honest with you. But he did a lot of defensive work, man. Yeah, he made a couple decent. He made one on Mateta in the first half. Mateta was just about to pull the trigger, and he got a toe in there. It was really important, and he did something else as well. I can't remember, but yeah, nice. That's good as well, man. But if we link that in as well, Joe, Cherki, he was phenomenal today. He really, really was. He's got a lot of people. I did the player ratings after the game. The chat give it to Cherki, man of the match. I mean, there's quite a few options, to be honest with you. But he's looking mega, mate, and throwing Foden, that relationship between them on the pitch already looks like really exciting, mate. That could be something special.
I think the biggest thing about Cherki is that when he first came in, like obviously we could all see the quality was there, but I mean even as recently as like a month ago, maybe like 6 weeks ago, I was looking at him coming to some of the games. I think the Liverpool game is a good example of this, where he started and I thought it was just pretty shit, and I just thought maybe you're a player who we can only just bring in for like games against teams we should be beating because you're obviously technically superior to them all, and like it'll be teams where we're playing games where we're comfortably on top, and maybe there's a little bit less defensive work for you to do. And I still have some concerns about the defensive work rate that he's got necessarily and stuff like that. But I think when you've got a guy who's got the amount of pure attacking output that this guy's got in terms of like assists and the ability to just create chances and stuff like that, I think it's you almost have to put him into the side and just accept that, short term at least, that you are going to maybe give up a little bit on the defensive side of things to help accommodate that. But even so, I think that his actual, like the way that he's slipped into this side and this system, and he's already sort of adapted to what Pep wants from him, largely in terms of like the attacking side of things. It's quicker than we've seen from most other players that we've ever signed. I think he's just got like a footballing brain that is just like such like levels above like anything that we've seen from, I mean, we signed this guy for 30 fucking million, man. Like you've got other players, you've got teams who are in like
crazy, bro.
You've got other teams who like would kill for like one player at that level, like in their entire squad. And he was there for 30 mil. And like so many of these clubs just passed it up, and then we just took it, and here we are where we're sort of reaping the benefits. But I think for me it's just the fact that I would see him make some pretty shit decisions in like previous games, like where he tried to dribble past someone in a position where it's like you're on like the halfway line, like just play the easy pass and just like let us keep the ball and don't try the spectacular thing here. This isn't the place to do it. Maybe obviously in the French league with Lyon, you could probably get away with that a little bit more because obviously the quality is a bit lower. But in the Premier League, you can't really do that. And I think he's already kind of over this last month or two of like pretty consistent football has realised what he can do and when he can do it and when he should just play the simple pass backwards or sideways or yes. And some of the stuff he does as well is just so fucking casual. I don't know if you've seen on Instagram where City have got the videos of him like with like the miniature nets and like it's him just sort of like the ball's being pinged at him and he's just literally just like without even trying to flick it offside. Like there was a pass today that he made that was literally just that. Like someone pinged the ball at him and he just literally without even looking, facing on the ball, pinged it off his left boot just around the back of him for Nunez to run onto. And it's just he makes some of that stuff look just so easy, and fucking. I mean, I'm still not over that fucking Rabona assist that he got last week, to be honest. But I think like this is the level that this guy's at, and he's 22. Like he's been playing football at obviously the French league is the French league, but he's been playing at a top European division for 4-5 years already, and we've got this guy for like the next decade if all things go well. But I just think, my only criticism of Cherki is going to be that his defensive work rate is really not it, and I'm not sure how much that'll.
It's not as bad as you think. I don't think it's as bad as people made out, though.
It's not. Because I think that a lot of people made it out that he was just some guy who just literally stands in the tent and just does nothing else, and I think that he's obviously not that, but it's not great either. Like, and I think that Pep that is going to be something that Pep will want him to work on, or even obviously Pep's not going to be here forever. A future coach will also want him to. Let's say we get Company back in like after this, he's going to want him to do the same thing as well. Top level managers are going to want their players to do a lot of tracking back and stuff, and I think that's the thing that Cherki's going to have to long term for his career work on a little bit. But also I think managers are going to have to just adapt to him like Pep has this at this point in the season.
I think so.
And
I think
you
can always ask him, Joe. Yeah, you can always ask him. You can always pressure him. You can always be like, you're obviously never going to say to a player like, just don't try hard. Obviously not going to say that. But I think if you're a top class manager, when you got a player like Cherki, I think like you have to like almost get a system that can compensate for him a little bit. And maybe that's one of the reasons that Pep's playing Bernardo out on that right-hand side a little bit more, you know what I mean? So then if we lose the ball, Bernardo can run back, obviously, but then that causes... The thing is for me, deliver me GA, deliver me goals, deliver me chance created, and I don't give a shit. It's kind of like the Salah thing at Liverpool, really, if you think about it, For the last 8 years at Liverpool... Yeah, Salah's not like worked that hard tracking back, but he's scoring 40 goals a season. No one gives a shit. Yeah, look at this season. He stopped scoring goals. Everyone's getting on to him.
Now it's all of a sudden it's a problem.
Suddenly it matters.
It's like I'm the same dude I've always been, but
I also think though, Joe, I also don't see the defensive issue being as much as you highlighted there.
I'm with you. I don't think it's as pronounced.
You make it sound like it's well bad. I don't think it's that bad.
I mean, if it was that bad, I think we wouldn't see him get a chance at all at the moment. But you might want a bit more. That's fair enough. That's up to you. I'm all right with it at how it is at the moment. But what it is for me, when you go to a restaurant, and the service is just really, really nice. The staff just treat you well. They move the chair for you. They bring your food over for you. You give them a little tip in it. We need to give Leon a little something, bro. Because the way they've handed us this dream footballer that's just a joy to watch. And always has been.
I didn't think y'all can tip over there. I don't think y'all tip over there. That's an American thing. We don't need to give no more money. We gave them enough. We'll take it.
You have to, man. It's rude
not to. Like the Champions League a few years ago, bro.
Fuck them. Fuck Leon. They deserve. They owes one.
He owes this, man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. I think he made up for it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know what's mad though? Yeah, I seen a tweet before, right? Because I still don't really get how in the summer, all the media, all these people was talking about this Cherki thing, being proper bad worker, like doesn't try hard, doesn't run, doesn't put effort in, and like I told everybody, I've only seen Cherki before the France game, in the summer. I only seen him about 2 or 3 times, it was against United in the thing, right? But for me, right, this is the thing. I went on Twitter before, and someone, and I can't remember who it was, I can't give credit to who posted it. Someone found an article, from a French newspaper, and it was basically like player ratings on Cherki, and the guy scored 2 goals in the game, and it was basically saying he's trash. He's a trash player.
I think that was the Ooze. Was it OUS?
Was it him? It probably was.
I think it was his account. I saw that earlier too.
He's French, and basically, like, he put the picture. Obviously, I can't read it because it's French, but he put the picture of the newspaper article on it, and it basically they were just slagging him off. I don't know what's going on in France here with Cherki, but I don't think the media like him at all, and I don't know why.
I think his physique itself, bro. He had a bit of weight on him in the past, bro. Which again, that's gone. Like, he looks trim in the Premier League.
I think that's a Pep thing, because even you think back to what's my guy Nasri. Pep had an issue with Nasri and was like, go work that out, and if you don't, then you're going to be gone. It's the same thing with Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips, we never really got a chance to see him because he got hurt. He was a little overweight, according to Pep.
It shows hard work, bro. So he's putting in the work in training and whatnot to at least get himself to a next level.
Yeah, because even the announcers, on
the guy's got jawbones now. You know what I mean, bro?
The announcers on our stream made a big point about his body has changed so much from when he played whatever. But yeah, I'm with you. I think people have found reasons to justify why they felt like what they were feeling, and I think that's the unfair part to him.
I was just going to say this down here, that I'm sure there was a rumor that like the reason why he was injured for a month was because all of a sudden he's and he comes back trim and looking great because he had the Calvin Phillips syndrome and was just like, you fat, get in the gym.
I actually think he probably did. I think Pep probably did say to him.
I think so too. I think again it was very much like the Nasri. Go over there, get yourself in shape, come back when you're ready.
He told him where he was overweight. This manager's not going to fucking.
He's got.
Apparently Big Steve said it. Big Steve said that happened. So he's obviously got contacts.
The proof's in the pudding. You just have to look at the guy, innit? So
yeah. It's good, man. It's good. Big up Perfect Soul says Savio didn't start as the only winger fit. Why didn't we sell? Also, with Stones and Ake leaving soon, we should sign Anderson and Wharton for homegrown. I'm happy to sign both of those midfielders. You know what I mean? Especially Bernardo and Kovacic leaving. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, as to Savio's not going to start a game like that. A big game. He'll start on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, 100%. He'll start on Wednesday, mate.
Probably not going to get both of them. But what about Gibbs White? Will anybody go back in for him? I saw that in the chat earlier.
Nah. I would. I was
listening to a piece on Jamie Carragher today, lad. Yeah, and it was a big piece on Morgan Rogers, man. And there's a lot of talks about him at the moment as well. Jamie Carragher was saying, I think what you want about Jamie Carragher, but he knows his football, innit? And well, for the most part, anyway. But he was talking about like the number 10 position for England. Like, you need to look at Rodgers for that. Like, the way that guy's striking the ball at the moment is crazy. But I've seen his goal catalogue recently.
I'd have Morgan Rogers playing for England. No danger. I think he's brilliant.
He's ball striking, he's been doing something in the summer, bro, because. Yeah. He's like doing these mad knuckle balls where he's dribbling. Like, normally people do it from a free kick static position. This guy's, bro, his technique's crazy. He's a crazy player, man.
So Joe, you would say you would go Declan Rice, Morgan Rogers, and Phil.
I'm always gonna have my boy Phil
and Anderson.
I'm not putting Foden in for England. Foden's shit for England. Just I'm fine with that.
Well, I don't care.
But if you don't play him on the wing and if you play him through the middle, like if you play him as an 8, like we're seeing now.
I'd rather just play Morgan Rogers there. Just Anderson and Rice in the double pivot.
Well, it goes to say a lot though. When even the media at this point, Jamie Carragher, you normally get the media. It's Bellingham. Jamie Carragher was like, I'd drop Bellingham in the moment for Morgan Rogers in the number 10 position. So
I'm just fine with Foden not playing for England personally.
It means he's never going to get hurt, so I'm not mad at it.
You don't care. Let's Terry, kid. Why would you care?
I still root for him. I want him to do well. And I feel bad that I feel like he's being left out unfairly. But again, you're right. At the end of the day,
he's being scapegoated by the manager. That's what's happening, mate. Being scapegoated by the manager.
Well, that was always the case. But I do think Tuchel really does like him.
Yeah,
fair. I think Tuchel does.
If he plays shit under Tuchel as well, then it's an England problem. It's not a manager problem. It's just an England problem. I think he's
World Cup in it for Foden.
I think he's used to having players of City's quality around him who he knows exactly what they're going to do, and I just think England just don't suit him, and that's people will call that system player, and they can if they want. I don't really care, but I just think
I don't give a shit what people say, man.
I just think that's what it is with Foden. I just don't think he's. I'm fine with just accepting Foden will never be good for England, and I'm just building an England team without him, as far as I'm concerned. I don't really
whatever, innit? Fuck him. But I don't know, man. You know, at least he's ours anyway. So
yeah. But back to the initial question about like, would you go in for like Gibbs White? I just think that we're beyond the need for a player like Gibbs White now. Like Foden and Cherki are the two guys who can play that position that Gibbs White would have. Obviously, if it was Gibbs White or Cherki, really wasn't it? Like, and I think if we're going to go in for Anderson in the summer and hopefully get him.
Can you imagine if we got Gibbs White over Cherki?
Oh my God! But could Gibbs White be an 8, or does he have to be the 10?
Yeah,
I mean, because
I'm sure he could have done it. I'm sure he would have been good at it. But I think it's just we would not have seen obviously the Cherki, like we'd have seen Cherki at like Arsenal or something like that instead.
Oh God! Definitely got to have Cherki. Yeah, he's been a revelation, and you think about it, I don't want to say we've gotten lucky, because I'm sure there's a certain amount of scouting that goes into it. But anytime we haven't gotten a player that we wanted, the player that we end up getting always still shines. I'm not going to sit here and say that Wirtz wouldn't have shined in our squad. I'm sure Pep would have been able to get the best out of him. But I'm not mad at because I know what Cherki is doing right now. And we've always done that, even if it was Diaz instead of whoever, right? He came in and was all world for a period, and now he's getting back to that.
Mateus Nunes instead of Paqueta. I think that was.
I mean, he isn't shining in the position that we thought he was going to play, but he's, in my opinion, just my opinion as a City fan, it's a little blue bias. I agree, but he's one of the best in the league at the moment, so I can't be mad at it. Anyway, I got to drop.
Big up, bro.
Big up to you, man.
At the moment as well, lads. Yeah, I would have Nunes over Livramento at right back. Call me crazy, man, but like that's how good I think he is at this moment in time.
I probably would at this moment in time, but I'd still sign him though. I'd still sign Livramento. Like people are like, "Oh, would you still sign Livramento?" Yeah, of course I'd still sign Livramento. Yeah, why wouldn't I sign it?
So if you had to, Newcastle turn around and say 30 mil plus Nunes for Livramento, what are you doing?
Oh man.
I'm doing that all day long. Every day of the week, I'm doing that, by the way.
30 mil plus Nunes for Livramento.
I can't believe I'm seeing no's in the chat. This is absolutely ridiculous. You're all insane.
I'll probably
say it with chest, LB, man.
I don't know, man. I feel nasty though. I feel
so dirty. Many no's in the chat. I'm sorry, everybody who is saying no's a fucking idiot. Like the guys like Livramento is like 20 in the summer.
Everyone in the chat's a fucking idiot.
in the summer, Livramento will be 23. He's homegrown. He can play left back and right back. He's shown, for me, he's been a very good Premier League right back for what, 3, 4, maybe even 5 seasons in his career. I don't understand how you can possibly choose Nunes over this guy. Like Nunes has had a great 3-4 months, but they're not even comparable. This chat hates me anyway, so I don't really care.
Yeah, Joe don't give a fuck about it, because the thing is, chat with you, you made a mistake in it because you cooked him so hard. He literally doesn't care about anything that he says now. Yeah, so
you should never care anyway. You know what I mean?
No, you should never care. Listen, all jokes aside, yeah. I think I probably would pull the trigger on it, yeah. But why not get Livramento anyway, innit? And then just
I'm fine with Nunes being a backup or rotation option with Livramento, but I just don't see. I just think that anyone who thinks that it's not a priority that we get this guy next summer if we can is
He's still not signed a contract as well. Did you see that thing from Craig Hope as well, saying City is still interested in?
Oh yeah, I think.
You know what? I think Newcastle are not getting a point. Man, like they lost again today, man. Like.
I went in. Do you know that Pete guy, Steve? That Pete, the Newcastle.
Yeah, Pete. Yeah.
So he's on that. He's got a YouTube channel called Loaded Mag. Yeah. So before the stream, I was just on my PC chilling. I thought, let me stick this podcast because they were live on a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, let me stick it on, see what the boys are saying on Loaded Mag. Obviously, they just lost a derby. But I'll tell you what, that Eddie Howe's under pressure, man. I never expected to see it, bro. I seen it in the chat, like, it was all like, yo, this manager's making pure mistakes, man, as he took us as far as... And I was like, oh, these guys are losing patience with him, man. But the thing is with them, they had a shit transfer window, bro.
Yeah, they really did.
They needed to sign needle movers, man. I always talk about the needle movers. They done a Chelsea and just bought stabilizers.
I don't know, though, bro, they still got a great team. Like, they should be doing better, bro. The team...
No, I agree with that, but they needed to progress.
Walter Mardy as well. I think that kid's better than Isak, bro. Especially
I rate that, but that's basically like for like. I'm talking that right winger position. They needed to go because Jacob Murphy last year was mint, bro. Yeah, and then he went and signed Elanga for £55 million.
Yeah, I think you're right, though, bro. It comes down to the manager for me. He's got to be getting more out of that team, bro. Like
he does.
Transfer window or not, like he's got to be under immense pressure, bro. There's other managers out there probably out of the job that could come in and progress Newcastle. Even guys in the job, bro. Newcastle's a massive club, so
I reckon I go for
their situation to go there, bro.
You reckon get
Xavi? It's a shame that this is going to sound like such a ridiculous thing to say now, but could you imagine if Rafa Benitez was their manager when they had a squad that was even like anywhere close to this? Like, I think they'd be a much more I rate Rafa Benitez above Eddie Howe personally. I think Howe's good, but he's not top level. But I'm looking at the transfers they made this summer now. Like, it's just so like Voltemada's great, I think, and obviously, but he's still not Isak for me. But obviously, it's a very good replacement considering what Ekitike in the first place.
Good as they could have done. Good as they could have done.
Absolutely, as good as they could have done. Ilanga had a good season at Forest, to be fair, but not changed anything. Visser, fucking hell, what a mid signing that is for 50 mil.
Yeah, a bit of a weird.
Jacob Ramsey, it wasn't his best season 2 or 3 years ago. Malik Chow, fair enough, looks decent, fairly young, and that's a bit of a... He's starting basically every game for them now, and that's maybe a little bit of a needle mover for him. But there's just so many other the rest of those signings are just, like you say, they're just ones that keep them roughly at the same level that they're already at. Which when you think that they're at that sort of almost Champions League level where you need to be getting players that go right. No, we're taking advantage of our Champions League status and making that next level, and they're just not. Voltemada aside, they're not really doing that, which is.
They should be looking at Aston Villa, Joe, and saying why is that not us? Why are they in that position and we're not? Unai Emery.
Unai Emery, mate. That's the difference.
That's it. So the manager's fucking a big thing, man.
Yeah,
they should be competing with Villa for whatever Villa could be doing.
100%. With the availability, with the resources that both teams have available to them, there's no reason why Villa should be in a title race and Newcastle aren't. But yeah, so that's all that plays into. I can see why Livramento maybe hasn't signed a contract yet. I can see why you would look at that and go, does this team have the ambition to actually be a because obviously it's great if you want to stay at Newcastle, they're going to pay you 250 grand a week or something to be there for the next 5-6 years, and great, but he's not really. I think he's won the Carabao with Newcastle. Maybe they'll win an FA Cup, but I think we can all see the writing on the wall at this point that Newcastle, unless something major changes in the next couple of years, i.e. a manager and or the sort of and or the kind of investment that they're going to put into signings and the type of signings they're going to make. I don't see why you would ever pick Newcastle over.
If he's not signed a contract by the end of the season, he'll leave and City will get him.
I think if he's not signed one by Feb, it's
because you got again. It's the Rodri thing. Yeah, it's the why not. Newcastle now, they've just lost Isak, They will not want to be losing Livramento. They will be offering him cash money, on a 5-6 year contract, to lock him down and get him paid healthily. So if he's not accepted it, it's because probably he's sitting knocking on the door. So
100%. I mean, it's no secret as well that we have been knocking on the door in recent times, bro. It's no secret as well that he's on the top of this list that people talk about. I believe it's a thing. You know what I mean? And it's a natural signing to make because we didn't have a right back. So and he's at the top English right back.
We didn't even have a left back, did we? Until this summer just gone.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, and it's perfect.
The
I think people in the chat saying Livramento glaze, like, oh, he's obviously one of the top priorities on City's transfer targets. Like that is like, do you need more glaze than that? Like, obviously the club rate him. Like, so I think Pep and the boys know a little bit more about football than us lot do, and they seem to rate him quite highly.
I can't remember where I heard this from as well, lads, about Reece James not signing a contract or something like that. From Chelsea, obviously.
Nah,
Reece
surely
James?
not, bro. I'd be down.
I think he was on the strings with a guy actually. LB. I can't remember who. Someone said, is he contracted?
Yeah, he's got 2 years left as well.
Yeah, and he's been offered one. You know what I mean? He would have been offered that 8-year contract. LB.
Oi, right. Yeah, I've got a question for you. Yeah, I've got a question for you. Right, Livramento or Reece James?
Reece boy.
I get Reece James, me.
Reece James. Reece James
gamble,
Reece James is comfortably the better player.
I'm gambling.
I think Reece James is like the best left back. Like, he's probably top
right back.
He's top few right backs in the world, I think, when he's fit. But how often is he fit? Like, it's
I think
apparently he's been fit. Has he been fit a while now or something?
He's not been injured once this year, bro.
Yeah,
he's doing all right. So like recently, but I mean,
this season he's not had one single injury. Yeah. Apparently they've got him on like some special plan or something.
Ledley King training scheme.
Yeah, like train when you want, play when you want. And
I just think he's the guy that you have to take a gamble on. He's still pretty young. He's probably like 25 or something. But he's a difference maker for me, man.
Livramento.
And I think I think City as well. We've got a good history of bringing players in that have been injury prone, like Haaland, by the way. Haaland was a guy who picked up his niggles and his feet and whatnot. But we've got an elite team there in the background stuff. So I trust to bring a player in like that and kind of develop him. Well, John Stones, I'm sorry, guys, you're absolutely right on that one. But yeah, man, I'd take a gamble on him. 2 years left of his contract, guys. There's a reason I mentioned his name, because he would have been offered that 8-year contract. Why is it not signed?
James is 26 and Livramento is 23.
I like the age 26, same age as me. Well, I'm 27 now, but
great age.
Yeah,
great age.
I like that age. It's a good age to come in, and you still got years to go until you're in your prime.
He might be looking at this as well, Joe. Going, this is obviously a cold, but it's never going to happen. But he might be sitting there going, bro, I'm 26, yeah. Like I want to be competing at the very top
for Premier Leagues.
Are Chelsea going to do that in the next year? Probably not. It's probably going to take him another couple of years the way to go in. So by the time he's 29,
yeah,
anything can happen in life, innit? So
who knows? Could be looking at Trent as well, LB, saying, like he's a counterpart there in Trent Alexander-Arnold, seeing what you just did. Might have inspired him a little bit, bro. You know what I mean?
I think you got to go and try and get one of them too, man. For me, I think you got to try and get one of them.
For me, I'd go Livramento just because of the versatility that he's got, and age is probably a factor as well. Also, like I know he's had a couple of knee injuries. Has he done his ACL twice, Livramento?
He's done it two ligaments, yeah.
2 ligaments, yeah, which is definitely bad. I mean,
he's done his MCL and he's done his ACL.
Yeah, both of these come with pretty horrible red flags injury wise, but yeah, I mean.
Isn't it mad how you've got 2 English right backs there who are both mint and they both just like got these injuries.
They both can't stay fit for love nor money. I think Reece James is worse than Livramento on the fitness side of things. And I think if he's at a position now where he's basically just told train when you want so you can actually play football, then
I don't know if that's what they've said, by the way.
No, obviously not literally that, but yeah, if he's on some like mad special routine to be able to do that, it's not really ideal, is it? You want him to be able to do it.
It's like Haaland, though, Joe. He gets more massages than anyone else at the club. So some players need different treatments.
All right, and before we wrap it up, boys, let's just quickly glaze Haaland. Another 2 goals for him today, so he keeps up his record of having a goal per game. He's now got 17 goals in 16 Premier League games. And he's got 23 and 22 in all competitions. I mean, great. I mean, the header, boys. Nice movement to peel off his defender. Steve, he sends it back the way it came. You know what I mean? That's how he meant to head a ball. And then, did you notice as well that he's changed his penalty run-up as well? Because people in the chat are saying he's changed his run-up. Don't know if you noticed.
I didn't notice that, but he needed to change something, didn't he, with his penalties? I think he should be better off, like, putting his laces through it personally, but at least he's scoring them. You know what I mean? I just feel like to keep it goes that way. It wasn't particularly in the corner, you know, LB as well, but you know, luckily it still went in. Both the last 2 penalties, the keeper died the wrong way, but forget that, man. You know, the guy's just a fucking, you know, he's a phenom in it. You know what I mean? Like that header, bro. Like when he was not getting any touches this game, he wasn't in the game at all. You know, he was, you know, the centre halves were having decent games, and you know, he still comes up clutch, man. And you know, you just always feel it as well. Just a little sniff is all he needs, man. But it's a tremendous cross from Nunes as well. That needs a mention as well.
Oh yeah.
But just need to get it close to him, and he does the rest.
You think
he
could?
It's nice to see that his confidence on the spot is there as well. That Phil Foden wanted that penalty in it, but he was like, "Nah, it's me again."
Do you think he might beat his record from the treble year of goals in the Prem?
Yeah, 100%. Why not? You know.
So that year, he got in the Premier League, 36 goals, right? So I just checked, right? So he's on 17 now after 16 matches. After 16 matches in the treble year, he was on 18. So he's one behind where he was in the treble year. However, get this, from match day 17 to match day 26 in that treble year, he only scored, and I say only, but he only scored 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he only scored 10 goals for match day 17 and 27. That was his worst record in the season. That was his worst, the middle part of the season for Haaland in the treble year in that Premier League year.
Still a goal a game.
It's still only, still a goal a game, but it was his worst. It was his worst record, in the season. It was the middle part of the season. So
did he get an injury at some point during that and miss a couple of games?
I swear he had a bit of time out as well. Yeah,
he only missed 3 games the whole season. It was the second season. It was the 4-peat year. He missed a month. Didn't he?
Oh, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, he played every game bar 3.
Wow. I mean, I don't. Maybe he does. Maybe he does it. Just 'cause I think the team now is more geared to literally just getting goals out of Haaland and not really anybody else. He's
probably going to go match it, innit? He's going to go match it.
Has he scored a hat trick for us yet?
I don't think he's done it this season.
I don't know about this season, but
no, it's not. No.
I can just see him matching that record, bro. Like,
when we play Wolves, man.
Yeah.
That'll be the day. I think. I mean, he's got to be looking at that record now. I mean, I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've seen the clips from that The Rest Is Football podcast that they did with him, where Shearer and Lineker, where they ask him like, "What do you think is like a good season for you?" And he basically says like, "Well, 20 goals is like fine, but like it's okay." And then like 25 is like, "Yeah, it's all right." And then 30 is like good. And then he sees like getting that record again as like a very good season for him. And I think that's like it's obviously the level that he's at. Yeah. This guy can't be satisfied with finishing the season with like 23, 24 goals. Like most
I completely agree with him. I agree with him. But I think you need to be like that as a player, and I think you need to be like that as a fan base, because I want to be pushing Haaland. I think Haaland should be aiming for like Messi, Ronaldo numbers in terms of goals throughout a season. Do you know what I mean? When these guys used to be scoring like 50, sometimes even 60 goals in a single season, I think these are the sort of numbers that Haaland, in all competitions should be aiming for 50 goals a year.
He has 35 GNA already, in it. In all competitions, 35 GNA, I'm sure.
This season,
including Norway, yeah.
Is that including Norway?
Yeah, he's got 20. He's got 26 for us so far.
That's probably right.
In 26 in 22. So yeah, I'm assuming that includes Norway as well. That he then gets.
The thing is as well that I have to include assists as well, because everyone does it for every other player. You include assists. So I'm a GNA guy. I'm not just a G guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's only got 3 assists actually. Funnily enough, which is
I'll add it on.
But yeah, it's I mean, if you're Haaland, you've got to be looking at those kind of numbers. I just think that's like you say, you should be aiming for the Messi, Ronaldo level numbers across a whole season. You've got to be looking at 45, 50 goals for Haaland, I think, personally.
What was his worst year for City? Was it last year?
Let's have a look. It will have been last year, surely, won't it?
34 in all competitions last year.
Yeah.
4-peat, 38. Treble year,
52.
Wow.
That's
so
insane.
Last year was his worst year with 34 goals, which is kind of like...
GM.
But I done a thing, and I don't know how, I don't know where I found it on the website. I was on Transfermarkt and I was looking at the top scorers of the Premier League last year, and it brought up the full list of the top scorers. Obviously, I think Salah was at the top, yeah. And it had a box, and it said, remove penalty goals. So I thought, oh, let me just fuck with this, yeah. Press the button. And if you remove the penalty goals, yeah, last year, right, it was only one behind Salah.
Yeah, Salah was milking penalties last year.
I was like, yo, that's pretty mad, that. And I don't know if you heard it yet in that podcast you talked about, Joe, yeah, but he was speaking about, like, he's actually missed quite a lot of chances because the guy said to him, like, he scored so many goals. I said, I know I've scored loads of goals, but you know what? I actually should have had a lot more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's missed a few.
There's been a couple of seasons. So. I think last season was one in particular where it felt like for the first like 5 or 6 games of the season, I was just watching Haaland thinking, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, you should be scoring like 2 or 3 times a game, and you're just not. And I think that's, which again, like, I think if you watch a player, like, say if you're Palace and you watch like Mateta have these chances that Haaland's having every game, if he doesn't score them all, you go like, yeah, right, fair enough, like. You're Mateta, like, I'm not really too bothered about that. But like, if it's Haaland who goes through and has like this level of chances, or gets into a position where he's got time to shoot, and I'm personally thinking, if you've got time and space to have a shot, Erling Haaland should probably score 9 times out of 10. That's the level. Those are like the standards that I have for him. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean I hate him because he doesn't do that all the time. And obviously, he has a lot of chances that he misses. But it's good to hear that he also thinks about the fact that he's missing a lot of chances and is like, yeah, that I should have more goals than I do, because I think that's kind of like what separates a top like the best of the best level strikers from someone who gets like 23 goals in a season and goes, oh yeah, sick, like I finished second in the Golden Boot race, cool, versus someone who's like, why the fuck have I not got like 35 goals this season? Like I should have like so many more than this. But yeah, it's just mad. I don't think he'll break that record, just because I don't think that unless we have like a major step up in the second half of the season, I just don't think we're as coherent a team around him. Like that treble season was so like free flowing and just so.
But not in the first 5 months though. It wasn't in the first 5 months.
Agree. But he still had one more goal at that stage at this stage now than he did. Yeah, than he does now this season.
He needed to score like 4 or 5 against someone, innit? West Ham at home.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, apparently, you know what's funny as well? Yeah, I can't believe this, right? I went on West Ham Fan TV before I watched the fan cam. The guy was saying, that was the best performance of the season, man. Yeah, so they've just had their best performance. I know they lost, but apparently that was the best.
Yeah, it's true, man.
They're starting to play well. So don't think, by the way, don't just think that this West Ham game on next weekend won't be very easy, because apparently they're actually playing.
It's the manager, isn't it? Yeah. You know, he's come in there and he's improved them again. I think the thing is with Haaland, though, lads, I think to remember that going from the treble season to now, I think, forget the team, I think Haaland's improved. So I think that's another reason why he can make up for a few more goals himself.
Definitely improved.
I think he's a better player. So
yeah. No,
why am I being called pessimistic just for thinking that Haaland's not going to break the goal scoring record? Like that's not. Surely that's not a crazy shout. Like I don't understand it. Yeah, but he's going to come very close if he doesn't break it. I think there'll be like only a couple of goals in it, unless he has like some kind of injury. It's going to be. I still think as well that he's capable of even more as well. Like, yes, I think he's improved, but I still think he himself can do more. Like, I think he's the type of guy that can make goals on his own. Like, maybe once or twice he does do that, but I think he can pick the ball up, run at people. I've seen him do it against teams this season where he's picked the ball up, ran at him, dribble past a few players because use his pace and power. I think I'd love to see more of that from him as well. You know. Yeah. The thing about Haaland as well is that he's actually become so much more than just this box striker who just like sits in it. He's started to do so much more like outside the box now, which is I'm not saying that that's obviously been a detriment to him because like he's still scored 17 goals so far this season, but because he's doing so much else and he isn't just thinking, right, I need to score and not really much else. That might also factor in because obviously in that treble season he was literally just be on the end of chances, like score, like and don't really worry about much else. Whereas this season in particular, he has leveled up his game to sort of do the stuff all over the pitch that he hasn't been in the previous season.
No, I hear it. Before we go, boys, I think we touched on it before, but we got West Ham at the weekend. We play before Arsenal go to Everton. We have a chance next weekend to go top of the table, get our job done, and then sit back and see if Everton can do anything at home to Arsenal. And typically, Everton have had a decent record against Arsenal at the home gaff, over the last 10 years or so. Yeah. Steve, next weekend, bro, we can't fumble this, man. Yeah, this is our time now to put the pressure big time on Arsenal, innit? Go back to the top of the table, mate. Like, what are you saying next weekend? Massive, innit?
Yeah, facts, bro. I'm obviously really confident about the game as well. I know West Ham have improved a little bit. That's a fact. I've watched them in it, and they are a better team than they was at the start of the season. But I'm well confident about it. I think it's the perfect game for us. You know what I mean? To play, to have that opportunity to go top. We're going to have a few players are going to be rested. They're going to be fresh. I'd like to see Nico G fresh for that game. And light work, man. We'll dispatch them, bro. I'm also happy about the game that Arsenal have as well. I think that's a very tough game. So talk about a pressure situation. So
they've got their players out though, apparently. And Dyer's out injured. Grealish is out. Gay's out. Apparently they've got
fucking typical, innit? What I mean? They were so lucky against Wolves, by the way. The worst team I've seen in my life. They were so lucky that game, bro. Two own goals, bro. One of them hit the crossbar and then bounced off the keeper's head and went in.
Apparently Saka was offside for the corner as well, wasn't he? Like they're saying that it should never have been a corner.
In the long run, forget this weekend, bro. Think about this Christmas period. You might see one or two more slip-ups from Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 days. Yeah.
Is it 2 days after Brentford? Is this true? Are we playing on the Thursday?
No, we play on Wednesday. I think it means 2 days rest.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so it's Wednesday,
2 days rest,
Wednesday, Saturday.
and then we play. But that's why we got to rotate. I'm sort of like mentally preparing myself to be knocked out of the Carabao Cup, unfortunately, on Wednesday.
I think you're preparing to get knocked out, LB. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not preparing to get knocked out in terms of like I'm throwing in the towel, but I'm preparing my mind. I think Pep's gonna rotate the whole team.
Would you take 8 players being rotated out and there being an 80% chance of getting knocked out of the Carabao, but we have an 80% chance of winning at the weekend? Or would you just go? Or would you just go? Now we're sticking with like 9 of the 11 from the weekend because we want to win the Carabao. But then obviously that has the knock-on effect of you probably.
If you rotate against Brentford, you have to beat West Ham. Yeah. Because
that was my attitude with Leverkusen. If you're going to do that, you got to beat Leeds. You can't just do that and then.
Yeah. You see this time and time again. You see this before when managers will rest players for a cup game, they'll lose, and then they'll lose the next game, and it's kind of like, well, now you just fuck yourself over. So
you fucked it all, yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of going against my personal beliefs here because I personally believe in momentum and I personally believe in just keep winning. I think winning breeds winning mentality and winning mentality breeds winning. And it would be 6 games. It would be 6 wins in a row. But at the same time, I just feel like this team, if we don't look after it, it's just going to be cooked, man. And maybe you don't fully ham the changes. Maybe you just drop Nico G and maybe a couple of others, and do a couple of changes. But
bring in like Kusanov right back, bring in Ake centre back instead of Gvardiol. Nico O'Reilly's probably just have to play left back. Apparently he recovers really well, Pep said, so maybe that's just fine.
Yeah.
Bring in, I don't know.
Well, let's see Kusanov get some minutes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I'd probably play Reinders and Bernardo.
Reinders and Bernardo. Maybe bring in Rico as well as one of the two instead. I don't know.
I think Cherki can play as well, though, lads, because we have to remember he didn't play much towards the start of the season and stuff like that. So I think he can play.
I'd be happy with that.
Did he play 90 minutes today?
He played. I think he played 90.
Yeah. He played 90 minutes. Yeah.
Even with heavy rotation, I'd be really reluctant to see Bob and Savio. I just really don't want to see it. I think it'd be shit.
Yeah.
And I think you probably have to start Haaland and just beg to get the job done in the first half.
Isn't it, man? The fact that we're gonna have to play hard in this game, like who the fuck else can we play? Really, realistically, I mean, it's frustrating. It's frustrating about John Stones as well that he's not going to be fit. I mean, it's been a good game for John Stones, but
I know.
The guy can't even make his Christmas tree without getting injured. You know what I mean?
On the so obviously we're talking about rotation for the whole winning the Premier League and winning the league game at the weekend against West Ham and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I asked obviously I'm assuming this is a conversation that's going to happen after like basically every panel show for the next like 2 or 3 months now until we find out what's actually happening. How do we feel about now that Arsenal look like a proper like it's not even the middle of December and they're already looking like they're having the sort of the wobble that they have in like January, February time when like they start to think, oh shit, we're actually it's as if they've seen Liverpool fall off. They've seen us have some pretty inconsistent performances, and they've thought,
they've already got it wrapped up, innit?
They thought, oh shit, maybe we are actually going to win the league this year. But now they're sort of having but now the pressure of that is already happening. What do we think happens if you had to guess from this point on? Like, do you think that Arsenal are just going to shit the bed at some point and it's going to be over? Or...
I don't think Arsenal have the complete utter bottle gene anymore. I don't think they have that. That don't mean they won't drop points and don't drop results, but can I see him like having a proper mad fall off? No, I don't. Can I see him dropping points in a couple of games? Yeah, but I don't see them like just fucking completely collapsing. I don't know, bro. I just think that like, I think there's an argument that they were just like, I just don't think, you should be talking about a team being the best team in the world and doing a quad in like October, November.
Yeah.
That's a long season. Like, remember PSG last year won a treble, yeah? They was not good, bro, in the first 5 months of the season. No one was talking about them winning a quad or a treble or Champions League. We played
Look at our treble season.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like if you look at some of the best teams, I feel like if you look at some of the best teams, like, it's about peaking at the right time. And I don't know about Arsenal, and obviously it's early days, but maybe they just went too early, you know what I mean? And like everyone was glazing and saying, and it's just like, that's just a bit weird, man. So I don't think they'll like fully drop off, but I don't
think we're gonna see like a 22-23 / 23-24 level like capitulation that they have, where they're top until they realise that they're top and then they just fall off a cliff. I don't think that'll happen, but. And obviously, there's another thing to sort of factor in here that, like, obviously, Saliba and Gabriel are out at the moment, which is probably a factor as to why they're looking a lot more shaky.
Has he got re-injured, Joe? Saliba?
Maybe. I don't know. I've seen
Arsenal fans going sick at Arteta because Arteta risked Saliba, and I think did he get injured or something last night?
Jesus.
Oh, he did? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Someone got injured.
No way.
Someone got injured last night. Saliba.
Was it Saliba? Did he get injured or something?
Oh, no, latest return dates. Who got injured?
He played yesterday, but I've seen Arsenal fans going. I know Ben White. No, Ben White got injured, but I've seen apparently.
Ben White.
Ben White.
I've seen Arsenal fans going sick about Saliba or something, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
But either way, like if you think you've got to think that once the two of those are back and regularly playing again, then Arsenal will look a bit of a different side. But I just think, I just feel like the Rice. Yeah, Rice also. Someone just. Harry Roberts just put in the chat there that Rice also looks like he's fucking knackered. He's being played off the ground.
Well, that'll be Nico Gonzalez if we're not careful.
100%. Saka is obviously still looking like the entire fucking attack depends on him doing anything. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to be critical of with Arsenal, but I don't know. I just think that I don't think that they've got the total, get to March and shit the bed and suddenly finish third kind of thing in them that they've had. But I do also think that I'm not like this time like a month ago or 6 weeks ago, I was like, it's Arsenal's title. Like there's no way that even we're doing anything here. And I still don't think we look like we're like amazing. But I've seen enough of this Arsenal team in the last few weeks to be like, yeah, this lot are not. It's not done and dusted for these to win the title by any means. I think this lot have they've got a couple more hiccups in them between now and the end of the season that'll make it interesting. As do we, to be fair. But I think I
think for me though, like I don't think this City team is amazing, right? And I don't think the Arsenal team is anywhere as near as cracked up to what people say. Yeah, it is a good team, don't get me wrong. But I just think City have the firepower. City have the firepower with Haaland. Yeah, today I think we had 6 shots and we scored 3. All right, right. One was a pen, but still 6. You'd take that out then. We should have 5 shots, scored 2. Yeah. Still very good. I just think we've got, and Karl's right, we've got the experience as well. I just think we've got the firepower. But for us, for me, it was always the defense, and that if we can sort the defense out, we'll always score goals. So let's see what happens, man. But it's certainly interesting. Listen, let me do these chats before we get out of here. Shout out to Charlie. Says Jared Bowen masterclass incoming, and he says I'll be here when Bowen scores in third of the game. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah. Would you take Jared Bowen at City, by the way?
Nah.
Now, yeah, all day long.
I wouldn't take him. You wouldn't take him?
Nah, man.
I wouldn't want us to go out and sign him next summer. But if it was like swap him for like Savio or Oscar Bob right now, I'd do it 100 in a heartbeat all day long.
Why would you not take him, Steve? He's a baller, mate.
Next super chat, please.
There is none.
I don't
As if you wouldn't take him. You don't like him, no?
not?
I think he's a baller, mate.
Nah.
Right.
I think there's better out there. I even think there's probably better in the Premier League out there. You know, I can't lie. You know, what I mean?
Better.
I think,
like,
I think
is he better
Gordon's probably better than him.
Do you think he's better than what we've got now, though?
What on the left or?
Oh, well, he plays on the right, don't he? He cuts in from the right. So do you think he's better? Do you think he's better than Bob or Savio?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, to be fair, but I still wouldn't have him,
it's easy, isn't it? It's an easy decision, then, isn't it?
No thanks.
Steve's not having it. Just before we go, Pet's been shout out. I think it was Scott in the chat. Shout out, Pep Guardiola's been glazing Diaz. He said Ruben Diaz is an incredible leader, consistent, no injuries, and his professionalism the day after before, how he leads his teammates. He's very vocal. He's incredible signing for City for many years and many years to come. He's a real captain and a real leader. So, yeah. Pep, very happy with him. Just see if there's anything else from Pep, but bit of Foden glaze. Haaland glaze.
If Poopy was there right now, we'd be having a big discussion about does leadership even matter? And
yeah, I know, but he also needs to talk about Nico O'Reilly, mate, because I remember, someone in the chat said it.
Oh yes, I remember this
about a month ago. Poopy was doubtful, man, on Nico O'Reilly. I remember him saying about
the I remember. Game. Oh yeah, shit, I don't know about that. Yeah.
So I don't know where he is.
I haven't seen anything in his game. He said, I remember.
Yeah, I don't know if he's watching us now, on the TV, or he's watching on the iPad or whatever, But Pulpy, mate, we're going to be asking you questions. We put you in the
soon.
Jay's not been here many times since Diaz has been in great form, has he? He's fallen off a bit.
Yeah, madness. Sweet. All right, we'll get out of here. Big up to you guys. Shout Charlie says Bowen clears Saka. Soz. Not Soz, says Charlie.
I don't think Saka's that great anymore either. So.
Been played too much.
Who would you get, Dusty, as a right winger?
I don't know, man. I trust the scouting network to come up with the right solution.
That's such a shit answer.
What is that, bro?
I think it's a difficult position, LB, man. I'd have to really. There's nothing I could just tell you off the top of my head right now, bro. I'll be honest with you. If I did, then I'd be at least saying. But I wouldn't like to just tell you something without saying it with chest or meaning it. So I'd have to really.
It'd be so easy though. It'd be so easy because our two right winger options are shite. So it's like it's not like you'd have to pick someone who's even that good to be better than
I hear that
Savio.
as well. I hear that as well. But
scored again, by the way, today, Rodrigo.
Of course he has. We fucking kickstarted his career, haven't we? With that fucking midweek goal.
Yeah. Sweet. All right, and boys, big up to you, man. I'll message Nobbin, see if he's about for tomorrow. In fact, he's messaged me already. He said he is. 11 a.m. tomorrow, Elbins. We will be there. And I'll be on Saeed on a midday live.
I look forward to that one, man. I look forward.
It's Sunday today. Yeah, it's Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Midday live tomorrow, and then I'll message you as well. See if Hugh's about. Hugh and Amos might be about for tomorrow night. But yeah, big up to you, man. Shout out to Tarek. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Steve. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, boys. See you later. By the way, player ratings is on the second channel. If you've not watched a player rating stream, more LB, link in description. Peace out.